There are two main aspects of the combat mechanic in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a JRPG-like turn-based battle system that is deeply influenced by the Persona series, and an action-oriented combat style that is heavily inspired by the Souls-like genre. Mixing these two is an innovation that was never asked for, but a very welcome expedition from Sandfall. You of course get a very standard turn-based battle wheel. During your turn, you choose from a normal attack, aim to shoot, use a skill, or use an item. The main resource during the combat is AP, which presumably stands for Action Point. Normal attack will restore Action Point, and the special skills will consume Action Point. The turn is determined by a timeline on the left, which indicates the order in which all characters attack. The order is influenced by the character's speed and agility, so a faster character or enemy will be able to attack early and more frequently, whereas a slower character or enemy will attack late and less frequently. All of these are so far very straightforward and easy to grasp. But when it's the enemy's turn to attack, things start to get really interesting. The enemies normally perform one action per turn, and during their turn, you have different options to defend their attacks. First of all, you can dodge an enemy's attack by a well-timed button press, a perfect timed dodge no less. Doing so can completely avoid any damage. Additionally, you can also parry their attack with another perfectly timed button press. It is seemingly more difficult to execute than a regular dodge due to the shorter time frame. But in addition to avoiding damage, a parry will also recover one action point. When an enemy has multiple hits in their attack, parrying them all will trigger a powerful counter and deal damage back to them. There are other tools and equipment that will award a perfectly executed dodge or parry during combat. But for now, the real difficulty lies in reading enemies' attack animation and getting the right timing of each different attack. Some enemies like to charge their attack and delay the blow, a very typical pain point that is appreciated by many Souls players. Some more powerful attacks also have multiple hits, and it's often required to parry them all to get the real benefit out of a parry. On the other hand, the consequence of failing to defend an attack can be devastating, as the enemies can hit pretty hard in this game. And you only get a small amount of healing potion available to you. Similar to a Souls game, these potions only replenish each time you rest at camp, so don't expect a massive amount of healing options like you would normally get in a typical JRPG. But on the flip side, this also means there is no endurance fight. Most of the fight, even some boss battles, can be over fairly quickly. And each time you die, you will respawn a few moments before, instead of all the way back to the previous camp. In the few hours of a preview copy of this game I played, I died plenty of times to enemies from small mobs to bosses. But I have never felt frustrated as I was able to quickly get back on my feet and attempt again. Although it does seem the enemy variety in each map is still lacking in the preview. Chances are, the first enemy in each map will give you a hard time. But as you continue to fight them, get familiar with their attack pattern, and start to hit that perfect parry every single time, the combat can become very easy as progress deeper into the map, even so in the hardest difficulty. There is one thing that seems a bit out of place. A free aim is an attack that doesn't end your turn. Instead, you can aim and shoot for one action point per shot. Some enemies have their weak point exposed very obviously, and you can take a free shot for early damage once per fight. And there are also flying enemies that can dodge your normal attack and skills most of the time. Your only option is to continually shoot them. It does take away a lot of your options in such combat, making them a bit bland. But so far, it's my small complaint in an otherwise well-crafted combat system. There is more, of course. When you consume Action Point to execute a skill, a QuickTime event will occur during your attack animation. Pressing the button at the right time will boost the skill's effect. This QTE also have a perfect time window for you to hit. Visually, they are a bit difficult to see due to how fast these button prompts are. It did take me some time before I realized there is a countdown around the button prompts, and the yellow part indicates the perfect time window. but hitting perfect during a QTE will unlock a stronger effect of the skill executed, such as increased damage or healing effect. Some single target skill will also apply to the whole party, and this leads us to the actual skills. There are 3 characters available to play in the early preview. Gustav uses a gun and a blade. He also has a mechanical arm that can be overcharged. His gameplay loop is to use support or damage skills to charge up his overcharge meter, and finally unleash a devastating blow with his overcharge skill. When overcharged at the highest level, he is capable of dealing a massive single hit damage. Luna is a mage-type character that masters different elements. Casting her skills will generate a stain of that element, which can then be consumed by other skills to become a more powerful version. She is able to apply different elemental effects and exploit the enemy's elemental weakness. Mael is, in my opinion, the most interesting and versatile character in combat. Her skills can switch her between offensive and defensive stances. The goal is to land on the virtuous stance, which can deal double the damage and unleash powerful attacks. But any basic attack will render her become stanceless. So the gimmick is to ensure she has enough action points, continue to cast different skills, and keep her stances going. Now, there you have it. Thanks to San for providing the code. This is my early preview of the combat systems of Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. I hope the video can help you to make your decision on this game. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and subscribe for more content gaming. Thanks for watching and see you next time.